Right on this bridge, a man saw a group of 4-foot-tall frogs. This doesn't sound believable at all, but it gets really weird when multiple police officers claim to also see them.
2 different police officers here in Loveland saw the Loveland Frogman. He saw it, didn't know what it was, so he shot at it.
So the Frogman exists?
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna talk to this guy who's known as the unofficial frogman expert, go over videos of this thing, and go to all the exact spots where this frog creature was seen to figure out what people were actually seeing. Because it can't be an actual giant frogman, right?
Honestly, I think it could.
But the first thing I want to do is go to where all 4 of the sightings were of this thing, starting at this first location. So this first sighting comes from 1955, a really, really long time ago, from a businessman. He's driving down this road at 3:30 a.m.
It's me, the businessman. Business.
He's driving up and then he almost comes to a stop because he sees these 3 or 4 creatures, and he says they're about 4 feet tall. He says they have leathery reptilian-like skin, webbed hands and feet. You got a good look at them, it sounds like. And then the heads shaped like frogs. This first sighting is weird, and I don't believe it at all because this next part. He says they're all holding what looks like rods with sparks coming out of the end.
Like wands?
Yeah, like wands. If that story is real, what the hell was he actually looking at, bro?
Yeah, that's scary, bro.
There's rumors that the FBI investigated this, that the police investigated this, but there's no proof of either of those things. There is proof of police investigating the later sightings that we're gonna get into, just not this first one, which is really weird. But I came mega prepared to this video. I did some research. What do frogs like to eat? How do we attract frogs? With crickets. It really is freeze-dried crickets. Look at that. I'm gonna drop one down there and see if we get any frogs. Yeah, I'm just dropping one. Oh. It's right there. Dude, we're gonna like turn away and hear a giant splash. Yeah. Ah! Look at that fish.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see it on camera? Wait, if they got big ass fish.
They got big-ass frogs.
That's the first sighting. I don't even believe in this sighting. But like I said, the next few are with police officers, and then the last one we're looking into has a video, but nothing at sighting number 1. So on to sighting number 2. The second sighting happens on this road, Riverside Drive. I'm sure it was a lot different looking than this because it was 50 years ago, but it happened 17 years after the original sighting. A Loveland police officer, Ray Shockey, is driving on this road on patrol late at night, 1 a.m., when he sees what looks like an injured animal. He thinks it might be like an injured dog or something, but he shines his headlights on it. It stands up on 2 legs, and he describes it like the businessman from 17 years ago does. He says it's 3 to 4 feet tall. He says it's probably like 50 to 75 pounds. He says it has leathery reptile-like skin, and then its eyes reflect in his headlights. They're like glowing eyes. And then it jumps the guardrail into the Little Miami River. But yeah, so we're gonna pull up here and hopefully check out the river. And there's even a drawing of what he saw. Looks like you kinda.
Yeah, I guess that does look like me.
So after that whole incident, another officer was called to investigate. Unfortunately, the only evidence they found of this was scratch marks on the guardrail. I don't know which guardrail they're talking about. There might be one like by the river? Yeah, it was this river. They saw it, ended up seeing it go into this river over here. Okay, I thought we were gonna be able to go closer to this river. This is a really big river. Should I throw some crickets down there?
Yeah,
It sounds like frogs. Imagine being a cricket and just like a dead one falls right next to you from the heavens.
That'd be horrifying.
I'd be like, what the fuck? Like imagine if like a body just fell right next to us. Just a dead human. That'd be awful. I'm just trying to think, what could this be? Like, I don't think it's a giant frog.
I don't know. I think a frog could get that big. I think it
4 feet tall? And we were gonna go over the theories on what this could possibly be later, but this sighting already was a lot more believable. And it gets a lot crazier because the next sighting was also reported by a cop. So this third sighting we're almost at happens only 2 weeks after Shockey's sighting. And this is from another officer, which is kind of crazy. And I'm just noticing now, it happens really, really close to the first ever sighting. Once again, another thing to point out is all of these sightings so far have been right on the same river. They've been the Miami River every time. So he once again was driving, and I guess he pulled off to the side. And this is the craziest sighting ever. So he pulls over to inspect this injured creature, and then it stands up once again on 2 legs, but this time, this officer wasn't taking that. He was the danger. He hits him with a pa pa pa. He starts shooting at it.
Why?
I don't
Bro's trigger happy.
He just wanted to shoot something that day. I can't take it anymore. He doesn't hit it though.
Yeah, man, he got shit aim, bro.
Yeah, this kind of just embarrassing, bro. See, this is how I know this sighting is real, because if I was telling this story, I would have been like, I shot him 3 times and then he jumped away. Officer Mark Matthews, the story ends here for him. He just shoots at it, it's gone, like they don't ever get the body. And that's it. He was like, oh, it lined up with the other dude's story, it lined up with Shocky's story. But he does say, like 20 years later, he gets interviewed again. And this story is just like all super well known. But he changes the story, Ethan. He changes it. Instead of saying he missed his shots, he says he hit it. And he says he recovered the body, and it was a 3.5 foot long iguana missing its tail. It was not a monster. It got blown out of proportion. It's just a big ass iguana. There's no proof of it, but this is what he says. This sighting was definitely weird because Officer Matthew changes his story. But before we go over all the theories with that and get some answers from the Frogman expert, we still had one last sighting, and this might be the craziest of them all. Alright guys, we're at sighting number 4. This one is where a video was captured, but it also happened like 40 years later. This is the most recent sighting, happened in 2016. So a man and his girlfriend saw Frogman here. There's a lake right next to us we're going up to. They saw him in the lake. They saw him stand up on 2 legs and kind of walk side to side. If I find a frog, I'm kissing it, and it's gonna become a princess. It's gonna become Demetra.
The key to my house.
Holy wow.
You can like pick
The key to his house!
But what makes this sighting super weird is they saw him while they were playing Pokemon Go, which is kind of, yeah, it's kind of funny.
So they thought he was a Pokemon.
Yeah, at first probably. Like, it's like, hey, this one's not getting caught. Robert, any mysterious... Robert. Oh, I thought that bench was something. Fine. Okay, let's watch this video though. This is the video of Frogman, bro.
Okay.
This could prove him. Like, what if this is super believable?
Nah, I mean, I'm believing it. I'm hoping to see like just a giant frog just sitting there, just like meditating.
He starts eating someone.
Oh,
that would be cool. Okay, so I think it's literally like seen right there, right behind us.
Wait, right here?
Somewhere here, like in this lake.
That's it? It's too dark, is that it? What?
Wait a minute.
Well, hell no. Well, how do they even know that's a frog?
So people lightened the image, which I'm gonna do myself. Okay, exposure 100%, brightness 100%, and then screenshot it again, crop in, done, save the photos, then brightness. If a frog was made in like an 8-bit video game,
It looks like that thing from Minecraft.
the creeper, yeah. I don't know how they brightened it. Apparently this is,
What the fuck? Wait, why did it have Jordans on?
how did you even see Jordans in this?
Wait. I thought this was a body and that was just like it's Jordans, bro.
Oh, I can kind of see it. I don't know what technique they use to brighten this, but I know like eyes reflect from like stuff in the dark, especially animals, but not this much. So in my opinion, the first sighting is completely fake. Like, come on, bro. They had wands, but all the sightings after that, especially the ones with police officers, were a lot more believable. What were they actually seeing and shooting at? So we went to the people that would know about this, the police. But this was basically a dead end, unfortunately.
If there's any information on that, we would be able to get.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
There hasn't been anything recent.
And I only had one more lead. This was a man that I saw on the news, and people all over the internet seem to call this guy the unofficial Frogman expert.
Brian Maxon is Loveland's Frogman aficionado.
So it turns out that he works at this barber shop, and that's where we went.
Would there happen to be a Brian here?
Yeah, he owns the shop. He's usually in the back.
And we eventually found him, and he agreed to talk to us.
So what got you, like, I guess, into Frogman? How'd you figure out about him?
Well, just living around here for so long, and there are stories that have been going for a very long time. The short, down and dirty version is the first official sighting was in 1955, and it was by a traveling salesman that was going door to door. And he was down on one of the roads that runs parallel to the Little Miami River. He claimed that he saw 3 of these things. You know, that's pretty much where his story ends. And then later in the 1970s, there were 2 different different police officers that encountered the thing. One of them supposedly pulled out his gun and started shooting at it because he didn't understand what it was, so shoot it, right? And then most recently in 2014 documented was a young man here in the area who was out playing, I think it was Pokemon Go, and he claims to have seen it and captured some footage. Super grainy, like, you know, any kind of cryptid footage is going to be, right?
Are there any other sightings that you know about? Because I've heard of those 4.
No, not necessarily. I think for the most part, if folks do think this is a possibility, they generally don't say anything.
That's fair.
And I think it's more of, you know, fear of ridicule. They don't want to be made fun of, things like that.
I know with this second police officer sighting, he like did some weird stuff and went back and said it was like a iguana. What do you think about all that?
Super shady. He claims that he saw it. He shoots at the thing, then later comes back, recants the story, and says, "Oh no, it was a 4-foot iguana, and I shot it dead, and I threw it in the trunk of my car, and I took it back to the police station to show it off." So none of that makes sense. That same gentleman lives down in Florida, but will not do interviews.
I was gonna ask, are there even iguanas here?
No.
That's okay.
This is not the proper climate.
Do a lot of people in the area tend to believe in it, or is it?
Oh yeah, and we kind of celebrate it too. You'll see signs of it throughout town, like little frogman statues. And if you look at some of the murals on our buildings down here in downtown Loveland, you'll see the symbols of the frog showing up in the murals.
I guess is there anything that people don't know about it?
The Loveland frogman falls in the classification as a cryptid, which would be in the same group as, say, the Mothman, Bigfoot, Yeti, you know, all these famous ones that you've heard about. What I think is significantly different with the Loveland frogman is it's always peaceful. Unlike, say, our neighboring Mothman, who gets a lot of attention, there's no negative stories that go with the frogman. Here in the Loveland area, we know for sure that the Hopewell Indians pass through here, as well as the Shawnee. And there's a possibility that lore is also connected with them as well. It's really hard to prove that, but just because you don't have empirical evidence doesn't necessarily mean it's not true.
So you would say you're in full belief that this exists?
I definitely believe in the power of folklore, and I don't see anything negative with believing that things are there, even if you can't prove them. That's okay. At the end of the day, it's fun. It's the Loveland Frogman. And if you do encounter him, just be pleasant. Don't shoot at it. Just be pleasant.
That's good advice.
That's my best advice. Don't shoot at the guy. Bah, bah, bah. Just say hello.
Well, that's all. Thanks so much for taking the
pleasure.
time.
My
Great
pleasure.
to meet you, Brian.
Yep.
But if you guys are ever in Ohio, go check out Railway Barbershop. But we learned something interesting. The cop Matthew, who claimed that these sightings were just an iguana, was probably not right, because iguanas weren't even local to this area. So now that we went over all the sightings, talked to Brian, it was time to go over the theories on what this thing could actually be. There's a lot of theories for this, and some of them do make sense. Obviously, the one I think we've talked about the most is the iguana theory.
I'm not a big fan of the iguana theory.
I think it's my favorite theory.
I don't think it's an iguana.
I think there's not iguanas local to here, but it could have been someone's pet iguana that got, like, abused, and then multiple people saw that, like, it had his tail off.
Bro, that iguana was going through missions.
Well, I don't believe the first and the last sighting. I think the only 2 valid sightings are the officer sightings, and I think the iguana theory fits in with those sightings. However, there's a lot more theories. Some people believe it's not the frogman. It's aliens. This was around when, like, aliens, the idea of aliens, little green men, was really popular. Apparently, one of the witnesses, it doesn't say which, of one of the sightings, too, like, had blacked out for a certain amount of time, which happens with a lot of alien sightings. But this theory's, like, kind of just stupid to me. None of these theories were realistic, but there still was one left. This theory is when things get crazy.
Crazier than aliens and walking iguana lizards?
No, not crazier in that way. It's crazier because it just might be true. This is the scuba suit theory. Right around the time this frogman legend comes around, there's also this new company right where all the sightings are. It's the Totes Company. They later make boots, but in 1955, they were working on scuba suits. So in the 1940s and 1950s in this area, the company Solo Works starts working on waterproof gear. Then 1955, the first frogman sighting, right near where their factory is. In 1955, also, Solo Works drops some waterproof waders, which is like basically like pants. And then in 1957, a prototype of their full wetsuit drops, which was reportedly tested before that in this river where they saw Frogman. These suits they were making were made out of like a pure gum rubber, so they didn't have like many seams or anything, and people said they would look leathery. Yeah, this is getting too good, bro. Advertisements at the time even referred to the diving models as rubber Frogman suits. Later, the company was renamed to Totes, but they renamed to that, and I believe the second sighting by the officer, he specifically mentions it's right by the Tots factory.
He shot at it?
That was the third officer.
Bro, he murked the fucking...
Dude.
The dude.
No wonder they kept it quiet and he kept changing his story. Oh shit! He kills him! This scuba theory is the only one that's really testable. So, I bought a scuba suit, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to some of the spots where the sightings were. I'm gonna get you pretty far away, and then get like a light on me or something. Okay. And we're gonna see what it looks like. We're gonna see if I could be mistaken for a frog. This theory was making sense. I even thought this most recent video could have possibly been a guy in a scuba suit. But to be absolutely sure, I had a plan to test it. As you can see, guys, I'm in a scuba suit. Okay, but we finally found a spot where we can make it down to the river. The Little Miami River is what this is called. This is the river that all the Frogman sightings are attached to. And apparently, with the scuba company Totes, this is where they would test their scuba suits. Hence the scuba suit. And I have it one step further. I got the scuba shiesty.
Wait, no way.
Yeah, I'm under the impression that last sighting, the one with the video, guy in a scuba suit with a scuba thing on, and it had like reflective strips on the side. But I got the scuba shiesty.
Oh shit, why him?
These are my ponds. You come around my pond, you get popped. So the goal here is I'm gonna go in there, we're gonna get a video, we're gonna see if it's realistic. Oh wait, I need your opinion because I can't see myself. Yeah. Do I look at all remotely like a frog?
No.
This was for nothing. I spent like $300 on this. Dude, it's actually so painful walking in these. I'm just stepping on all these rocks. What if a boat did come through here and it just ran over me?
Dude, that would be sad, bro.
Frog man! Okay, are you ready? I'm gonna hit like a frog pose.
Alright, I believe in you.
Oh, it's cold. Okay, I'm gonna just like lay down right here.
Okay.
And just my head will be out. Is it good?
Yeah, you look like something.
I'm not gonna lie, the footage I got looked nothing like the video, but I still could see this theory being very possible. I don't know what to say about the first sighting, but I think all three of the other ones possibly could have been guys in scuba suits. But is it crazier than giant iguanas walking or an actual frog creature? I don't think so. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think my theory is at all correct? But guys, make sure to subscribe. At 3 million, me and Eric are raiding Area 51 together.
We're getting answers!
But how are we gonna make sure that we actually get answers? People actually show up to this?
Well, 115,000 people in my community already signed up to see this happen. At this point, all we need is numbers. We need you guys to come out and raid this place with us.
Every week, I will be recruiting more YouTubers to join us on the raid to Area 51.
And you guys are invited. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Gavin's channel because when he hits 3 million subscribers, we're dropping the date of the raid.
I love you guys. Oh. What the f